I'm so sorry for repeating the President of the United States.
I mean, they can't get their lives straight, so that's why we're still here. And yet, the survivors who were victimized by Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein have had to live with this for 30 years.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Listen, this is outrageous.
We might be able to provide information that could bring people to justice. You don't want them to talk about
it. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. The credibility of this person who has
So you don't want all the information.
No. I would love all.
All right. Today we're talking about the Eppies. That's what I call the Epstein files. I call them the Eppies. And I just want to note really quick, watch Scott. Pay attention to Scott, because never has he been so quiet before. And he looks like he's so constipated. I mean, he's so disturbed by this topic. Let's get started.
Good evening, I'm John Berman in New York, in for Abby Phillip, and let's get right to what America is talking about. Bullshit. That's what Donald Trump is calling the story that MAGA built up for years, alleging conspiracy after conspiracy in the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. And now, he and his White House suddenly don't want the public to see the files they teased and promised for months. Maybe because he was told his name is in those files. In what context? That's unclear. But regardless, here is his message to his base.
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country. And that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit.
Also tonight, a dinner meeting that was supposed to be at the vice president's residence appears to have been moved or rescheduled after it was put under the spotlight. Maybe moved because CNN reported the group was supposed to talk about Epstein's strategy to address questions like, should they release the files? What about the tape of the DOJ's Ghislaine Maxwell interview? What's the explanation behind Maxwell's mysterious and highly unusual move to a cushier prison? And what about the victims alleging a cover-up? So, President Trump calls questions about the Epstein files something that is total bullshit. Just a reminder of a few of the people who, by the president's definition, have been full of bullshit.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would. I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office. It's sitting on my desk right now to review. A truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI. It's a new day. It's a new administration, and everything's going
that
to
should be
come
my
out
new
to the
ringtone.
public.
Put it on your big boy pants.
Now, I do want to stipulate
let us
that
know
my
who the
wife
petties
once
are.
gave me this bar of soap to wash my mouth out when I got caught swearing on TV. With that in mind, Scott Jennings, we just heard the clip there. Why is J.D. Vance so concerned with bullshit?
Well, I'm going to apologize to my 11-year-old who's in the green room trying to watch this show right now for our potty talk tonight.
Well, the president's potty talk.
What the fuck? Why would you bring your little ass kid? No, I mean, he knew damn well what the topic was going to be. Any topic they talk about is like, this is like news. It's like adult shit. What the fuck? No, but knowing especially that you're going to be talking about Jeffrey Epstein, you brought your fucking little kid, but I know what he's doing. It's part of his strategy. He's like, I have to look really innocent, really wholesome. I'm like, gee, I'm just the innocent guy here, and you guys are corrupting me kind of shit. It's like, fuck off, Scott.
Let's be fair.
Well, you've certainly...
I'm so sorry for repeating the President of the United States.
Look, here's the deal. I don't know what they're going to do. I know that the dinner they were supposed to be having, they say, the vice president directly says, was not about Epstein. I don't know if they've made any decisions. I don't know. I don't know what they're planning to do. I didn't know what they were planning to do last night either. Nothing has changed in the last 24 hours. And so I assume at some point they're going to have to release some information. I assume at some point the members of the Republican leadership in Congress are going to have to decide how to handle a vote when they come back in September. But we're having the same conversation tonight that we had last night, that we had Friday, that we had Thursday.
Wait, I can't let this slide. Wasn't Donald quite literally just complaining, like a major complaint, that there are too many government holidays, that people have too many days off throughout the year? I mean, he was seriously like pretty miffed about it for a good couple days. He's like, there's too many days off. People need to work more. Then he canceled Congress for like 2 or 3 months. Like literally, he's just like, oh, there's too many days off. Oh, I'm canceling, Congress. And that just goes to show how unstable he is, how fucking unhinged he is, how like unpredictable he is, and most of all, how hypocritical he is. So dumb. And you know what, Scott? I'm sorry you're so annoyed, okay? I'm sorry that you're so, oh, this is just really annoying. But you know what? I don't care if it's been fucking weeks. I don't care if it's been months. I don't care if it's been years. Release the fucking files. And then you can go back to your little bratty little
we had
fucking
Wednesday
ways.
and so on and so forth. And I actually think the president has a point. It's because nobody wants to talk about the good things that are happening in the country. So we're diverting.
Oh my God. Okay. They never, ever, ever talk about the good things. They never want to. They can't. I mean, even if you ask them, if they really tried super hard, they couldn't do it. They don't talk about the good things. And second of all, what good things? The jobs reports are so insanely low. Everything's kind of bad right now. So there are no good things. And then, now all of a sudden you guys are all positive and you want to talk about good things. Get the fuck out of here.
I will say, one of the reasons we're talking about it is because the Deputy Attorney General spent 2 days talking to a woman convicted of conspiring to sexually abuse
Or how about Trump's the one who wouldn't shut up about it. That's why it's such a big deal, because he made it such a huge deal for years and years and years. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, why are you guys making a big deal? What the fuck? You guys, he campaigned on it.
With Jeffrey Epstein.
How many weeks ago?
He talked to her for 2 days.
How many weeks ago?
Hasn't released what he talked about, and the president today called that a hoax.
Listen, I find it pretty interesting that folks are feigning outrage over how long we're talking about this, because it's been a couple of weeks, self-inflicted by the president of the United States and his MAGA grifters who made podcasting careers out of demanding the Epstein files would be released. Now those people are in positions of power that they could actually release the Epstein files, and all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute. It's on the desk. It's not on the desk. It's a hoax. It's not. It's
all of a sudden they're all devastated. They're like, oh shit, we just discovered that our master, our leader, is just as pedo as fucking Epstein himself. I think they're just like, shit, man, we're stuck in a pickle. That's why Don Bongino and all of them are like, well, I don't want this job. I don't like this job anymore, because they're like, oh shit, we're in a pickle because Trump has all this power and they're a bunch of wusses, and they're also dealing with the devastation of the reality of what Trump's trying to hide. I think that's one of my theories, at least.
That's fault, but it's bullshit now. They can't get their lies straight, so that's why we're still here. And yet, the survivors who were victimized by Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein have had to live with this for 30 years. 30 years. So, you know what? Too bad if it's uncomfortable for people in MAGA world and for Republicans to have to keep defending this, because the survivors of these heinous acts and of these monsters have had to endure this for decades, and they deserve justice. And unfortunately, only since the last couple of days have the survivors actually been given some agency, and their voices are beginning to be heard, where it really should be about them and justice for them, not for Donald Trump and his MAGA world trying to figure out ways to cover his behind, because they're the ones who've been lying to the American people and protecting predators.
I agree.
Damn, that's straight up, bitch. That's a damn good point. If anybody should have any say in this, it should be the fucking victims. They should be the ones calling the shots. Oh my God, that is such a good point.
The victims should be the people who we are all focused on. And everyone who perpetrated a crime here should be punished to the full extent of the law, whether they have been punished yet or not. Right? We should all be able to agree on that.
Yep.
But what I want to know is, why have House Democrats not been so insistent on this for the last 4 years? When Merrick Garland was the Attorney General and when Joe Biden was president, they suddenly got interested in it like 2 weeks ago.
No, they should have been.
He's so close.
I will confess that they should have been, and I agree. The victims should be centered. We shouldn't be protecting power for pedophiles, and it is a legitimate question to ask. Where were the Democrats? This shouldn't be a partisan issue. It could be political, but it shouldn't be partisan. We should care about girls and younger women who were sexually abused, and bring all of those people, whether they're Democrats or Republicans on the list, bring them to justice. So absolutely, where were the Democrats?
I think
Okay. Everybody has the power to look this up in the palm of their hands, okay? I can tell you right now. I understand that Donald breaks major laws on an hourly basis, but that's not how other people did things. So Biden, it was really restricted, so it had to be passed by a judge, whatever, the files or whatever, even to get that started. And second of all, there were other priorities, maybe something like, I don't know, COVID. Like over 1 million people died And this was just in the heat of the moment. Over 1 million people died, including my sister. That's right. This is exactly the time this is my whole motivation for why I'm even making these videos today. This is the very root of my motivation in general. I mean, my sister died. She's just a number now. Now she's just one in over 1 million people that Donald is 100% responsible for. All these deaths, over 1 million deaths, and I don't care what anybody has to say to that. I know what I lived through, I know what I experienced, and I know I paid such close attention during this time because my sister was fucking dying in front of my eyes. So trust me when I say it is 1000% on Trump. All these deaths were totally avoidable. They were 100% avoidable. And this fucking asshole is the reason why my sister is one of over 1 million that fucking died on his watch. So there was that to deal with, and I think Biden did an amazing job of cleaning up that mess. And there were just other priorities going on. And fucking Todd Brad, what's his name? Todd Brad. He asked if first of all, that's just their go-to thing. This guy, I know he's like another Scott Jennings, but I have to say, bless this guy's heart, because he has he's like a very puppy mentality. He's like a dog, you know. I think he's more genuine than Scott. Like, Scott's just conniving, he's evil, there's a lot of intention behind it, but this guy truly is just, I think he's just that simple-minded. But the answer, he said the answer right after he asked the question. Merrick Garland. If anybody's to blame here, like legitimate blame, Merrick Garland. Okay, because Merrick Garland was like, oh, I don't want any political backlash. Fuck that. Merrick Garland is to blame for why even Donald's even where he's at today. So there's your fucking answer. If you really want somebody to blame, Merrick Garland, bitch.
The sticking point here is that the Epstein files, Jeffrey Epstein, all of this was made a core piece of mythology from the right. That's right. A core piece of mythology. One of
that's right.
the most solid books in their Bible, because it was an example of the depth of the deep state, how much we have been taken over by bureaucracy, how much that bureaucracy was covering up for rich and powerful people. And Donald Trump and Kash Patel and Dan Bongino and all those people were supposed to come in and take a sledgehammer to that. And they don't want to do it. And no amount of obfuscating, no amount of distraction is going to change the fact that they don't want to do it. And the answer is why. To be honest with you, the Democrats and everybody, culturally, we turned our eye away from this. It's definitely true. It's true. But, just to be real with you, it's becoming more of a thing because of the hesitancy to deal with it. You're starting to wonder, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, talk to me more about that, because I'm not, to the extent that the Epstein situation wasn't in the mainstream before, Van, do you think it's more in the mainstream now?
When I was on TMZ and Epstein passed away, I actually got in trouble because I said it was the most bipartisan accomplishment that Washington had had in a generation, right? He had his hands in everything. Everyone was around. I saw a picture of him from the Times with him and Fidel Castro. They're laughing, having fun. Like, what's going on? People are now starting to concoct and invent scenarios about the depth of this because the government is obviously not keeping it straight with the people. And at a certain point, the president can say whatever he wants to say, but I think he's reached the limit of how much his supporters are going to take from him without holding him accountable.
Can I ask you, Brad, one thing? You said...
Fucking Scott, you see what he just did there? He had to... Anytime he hears anything that could... that would damage his whole thing, he had to signal his fucking crowd. Did you see that? He had to turn and be like, no, that's ridiculous. Like, that little signaling thing he just fucking did. God, he's kind of evil. Not kind of, but I just don't want the MAGA people. I know that only MAGA people watch my videos, but I can already hear all the spinning you guys are
punish everyone to the full extent of the law. Does that include Ghislaine Maxwell, who just got this highly mysterious move to a literal prison camp in Texas, which is...
Ghislaine, she has the ultimate qualification, because in order to be in Trump's cabinet, you have to be some kind of sexual predator. You have to have like a really awful sex crime of some sort, like even Linda McMahon, Pete Hegseth. Everybody in this cabinet has to have had like a rapist history. And I think that, due to that, fucking weird ass requirement. I think that Donald is like, well, wait a minute. Not only is Ghislaine part of my chunks of my rapist past, but she's like the queen goddess, because she is actually worse than Epstein himself. She was way worse. She was the brains behind it all. He was like the puppet. She was a puppet master. And she is everything that you think of when you think of Epstein. She's the soul of it all.
In Texas, which is way cushier by all accounts, a country club I read, like Atmosphere, one of the papers, you have to get super high approval to get moved there.
God.
Is that being punished to the full extent of the law?
There's we can't release a lot of things because courts won't let them. Like grand jury testimony cannot be released. They've asked the courts to do that. They can't do it.
But that's not a lot. That's just the grand jury. He said, oh, there's a lot we can't release because the grand jury. But the grand jury, it's just the grand jury. That's not a lot. There's a lot more than just the grand jury.
Courts to do that, they can't do it. So what's the next best thing? Talk to somebody, even someone who's culpable. And Ghislaine Maxwell is definitely culpable. See if she will divulge details that we don't know that we could make public. If they have to move her from prison A to prison B to get her to talk, to release more details, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Listen, this is outrageous. Well, first of all, just to reemphasize how outrageous it is that she was moved from a medium security prison to a prison camp. I worked on commutations and pardons when I was a congressional staffer. I've actually been to these types of facilities. And I can tell you, when I was advocating for Border Patrol agents who were unjustly prosecuted and facing 11 and 12 years in prison, they were not a threat. They were not going to abscond. And trying to get them moved closer to their family to a prison camp required virtually an act of the president. The Bureau of Prisons was not trying to do it. It didn't matter. So this was something that was clearly done as a favor. Why is the president of the United States and this administration doing favors for a convicted child sex trafficker? That is the answer. That should be asked every single day. He cannot.
Is he doing it so that? Are they doing it so that perhaps she will give more information?
She's had plenty of opportunity to do that. She's also been convicted of perjury. She's going to say and do whatever she needs to.
She was never convicted of perjury. Two things. One, the prosecutor said that she committed perjury. They didn't go and prosecute her for that. And for what it's worth, the president says he didn't know. He didn't know anything about her.
Give me a break. He knows how much paint is being painted in the White House. You're telling me he doesn't know what's going on with someone like this who he's known for decades? That's bullshit.
You know what? There's no that. As a president of the country, that's a bad look, and that's a weak ass excuse. What weak leadership.
Lots of speeches
skills he has
about how we got to protect the victims. If there's one person who we can get to who might be able to provide information that could bring people to justice, you don't want them to talk to her?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. The credibility of this person who has
so you don't want all the information?
No. I would love all the information. And you know where that is? You know where that is? That's in the files that the FBI and the Justice Department
You don't think she might have something to say?
She's going to say whatever she needs to because Donald Trump has control over her freedom. So I'm sorry, what she has to say is irrelevant at this point. It's what the credibility of what she has to say is garbage. Exactly. Where you can find that information is in the files that the Department of Justice, that Pam Bondi could release right now, today. It has nothing to do with the courts.
Are you aware of what the victims themselves say in regards to how they feel about Maxwell's release or pardon a conversation?
No, it's a release or pardon.
Well, no. What they
I don't want to pardon.
But listen, what they have talked about.
What did Scott say? They said, does anybody know about the victims? And he said, and I don't want to know. Either that's what he said, or he simply just said, and I don't want to release the info or the files for that reason.
Is the very direct ways that Maxwell victimized them.
Correct.
And
that's why she's in jail.
She's a criminal, right? So what I'm saying right now
she should
is
be talked to and mined for information. That's the argument.
Rather than add something onto it and introduce a new component into it, release what we have.
Correct.
Release what we have so that people can see it and make their own minds up about what's untoward, what's criminal, or what's not. Bringing her in so that she can parrot what people want her to say and then rewarding her for abusing young women for decades is ridiculous.
It's untenable. Yeah. And big ups to people like Representative Rokana, Rep. Massey, and Rep. Summer Lee. At least they're continuing to push this issue. All of America should be outraged by this.
All right, and big props to all of you who did not swear, unlike Tara and me and the President of the United States. It is still early.
Good fucking Lord. Okay, Scott, as much as I'd hate to give him this much credit, he's not that dumb. I mean, he's playing a part. He's definitely playing a part, and it's honestly all about it's career currency to him. The reason why Scott is such a little weenie, perks are really high perks. Okay, so it's guaranteed media lane. Okay, so there's a huge market for voices defending Trump right now. Are you kidding me? That's like the biggest market right now. That it's a safe zone, which brings me to point 2. Access to the Republican network. Okay, staying in Donald's good graces. You know, being like, hey, I'm just the innocent, articulate conservative guy. I've been always defending you guys. And God knows how much he really does agree and disagree with certain, who knows. But I think he is able to commit because he's cold-hearted enough to not lose sleep over it. And about him being like the calm, articulate conservative, it's the whole brand consistency. People in MAGA see him as like, oh, this kind of hero or something because he takes beatings from these like liberal media elites, and oh, he's such a trooper, and look at Scott, oh, he's so, such a hero, whatever. And of course, it's a safety net, overall safety net, because let's just say CNN drops him for whatever reason. Maybe he said some pretty kind of nasty things to Abby Phillip before, but anyways, if CNN for whatever reason drops him, at least he has all Fox Network, he has wide open selection, he has all this media, MAGA fucking safety net there. And then, yeah, the last one is like a martyr posture, He seems like the lone truth teller. He seems like, oh, he's surrounded by all these like liberal intellectuals or whatever. I don't know. I think intellectuals are enemies now too in MAGA world. I know it's so hard to keep up with, and that's like the most insane thing to turn into an enemy, because that's, if someone's smart, that's not an enemy. You want to be as smart as them, but whatever. MAGA makes no sense. So, yeah, I mean, I think for Scott, he has to play this part, and it's really easy for him, again, because he's cold-hearted enough, he's detached enough, and he's got nothing to lose. He gets paid more, whatever, it's just... Usually money's a pretty good motivator for almost anything that people are that hardcore about, but, yeah, it's a career investment. It pays in airtime, it pays in influence, it pays in long-term positions in a wide-open field of, like, cruelty and fucking corruption and everything. I think Scott's got it pretty good. He's got it pretty good. And that's why he is the way he is. And I think that Scott, I mean, he definitely knows what's up. I mean, he shows up to every single one of these episodes thinking, I have a job to do. I have a job to do. So even like that one segment about the movies, they were just talking about movies. And he's like, I'm not here, in his mentality, he's like, I'm not here to talk about movies, I'm here to defend Trump, basically. Make them look bad, they're the enemies. So, Abby's like, oh, what about, what movies do you like, or whatever. He goes, well, it sucks these days because they make it so you can't make movies anymore. I mean, you can't even put things in. It's like, oh my god, bitch, you can't fucking just say the, well, of course, no, because he doesn't get paid to fucking show up and talk about movies. He's there to fucking, he's a dog with bone, okay? And, I can't hate him for it. I definitely can't hate him for it, but I just wish it wasn't such a cruel, like, genuinely damaging thing that he was doing, because it really is, it's evil. It's just straight up evil. I mean, you see his fucking face when people are saying, like, real things and talk about the victims and stuff, and he's just, like, just so condescending, and he scoffs at everything, like, ridiculous. Oh, it's so ridiculous. But really, he knows that it's not ridiculous, but again, he doesn't care. He just doesn't care. I think he's like, oh, you know what? I have so much money, I can't hear you over all this money. Oh, what? Victims? Oh, Eppies? Oh, I don't know. There's just so much money, I can't hear you. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with like it's that Mr. Horrific guy, Mr. Horrible, Kevin O'Leary. He's like, okay, maybe they're raped. Who cares? That was years ago. People don't care about pedophiles. They care about the markets and the stock market. It's like, damn, no shame. God damn these MAGA people. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Please like and subscribe. It's not gonna go away. Just the people are making t-shirts and shit about it. I mean, that's what you get. You created a monster, Donald. So what do you expect? You might as well just own up to it. I know that they're using all this time and they're like, oh, let's distract with this, distract with that, because he told his fucking stooges, hey, go Sharpie everything you can with my name on it, and it's taking some time. Or he's using this time to act like, oh, well, we needed it, we're just waiting for the okay, whatever. But, you know, and another thing is, weren't these the files that he had in his bathroom? I think in my next video, I'm going to dig into that, because I'm almost certain those were the files that he was refusing to give back. It had a lot to do with, or had a connection with this or something. I don't know. Either way, I hope you like this video. MAGA people are going to go off on me. I just know it. But, you know, the truth always surfaces, MAGA, okay? It always does. And I have a feeling Stephen Miller can be first on that list. For some reason, I just got... That was weird. I don't remember what I said for me to mention him. That was such a strong vision. All right, over and out.
They got your data, dumbass.
Do not come. Do not come.